Do you often care what other people might think of you? Do you maybe put too much importance on their comments about you, their negative opinions, their ideas? And if the answer is yes, you're not alone. We all do that. We are humans, and I do that too. But the difference is that most of the humans do this in a very brutal way of self-sabotaging, or maybe not really that, but they just eat themselves inside out, and they always think about this and they get nervous. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to stop caring about what other people might think about you. And these are the things that I have personally experienced in my life, so I'll be speaking from my heart, let's say. So anyways, let's begin with the first one. Before we begin that, I actually wanted to point out why we think about that in the first place. Like, why do we care too much about what other people might think of us? And maybe one of the reasons is, I suppose, it's because as kids growing up, we get unconditional love from our parents, and we don't really have to do a lot of things to get love and to get affection, to get approval and validation. So when we grow up, the world is different. So we constantly seek validation, and I guess it just, plays in our head for 1,000 times, and it kind of gets negative rather than positive, because unconditional love is good, but then adult life is not like that. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But anyways, let's jump right into the first one. The first one is, I've actually made some notes because I'm going to be talking about quite a lot of things. The first one is, you have to understand that we humans, we are egoistic creatures, okay? We always think about ourselves, and even if you think that other people are thinking about you, well, probably that's not the case. And usually they're thinking about their problems, their own business, their own, their own obstacles or hardships in their lives, their own ideas, and they don't really have a lot of room to think about you or think about me, or just think about anything else than themselves. So we are humans, we are egoistic, and even a bit narcissistic. So when you realize that, I guess, if you want to solve a problem, or whenever you have a problem, you always have to start with just realizing, if you think that you're not confident, you have to realize why you're confident, and you have to realize what is why you are shy in the first place. Okay, so when you just realize, I guess a lot of problems can be halfway solved. So when you realize that humans are egoistic, right? And usually, if there's a circle and you think that they're thinking about you, which is full circle, that's not the point. If they think about you, which is also unlikely, even if they think about you, this is just a small point in a big circle, because the rest of it is them thinking about themselves. I've given an example of a Ferrari in my previous videos, where even if you go to, let's say, Monte Carlo, and you see a rich guy, you think about that car, rich guy in a car, you think about the car, and then you say, I want to get that car to myself, okay, for myself. And you don't really necessarily think about that guy. You don't think he has done this job, he has done these accomplishments. So it's more about egoistic me thing. And I know this gets kind of depressing, or this is disappointing. You might think, so it turns out people don't really think about me, and the answer is yes, but it's in a good way. They don't really think about you, which means you carry your own business, you do you, I do me, and that's it. The next thing, or next step, or next stage, as we can say, to stop caring about what other people might think about you, is to always choose progress over perfection. Okay, progress over perfection. I can give you an example. For example, even if you're watching these videos, I have videos 2 years old. 2 years ago, I've produced those videos, and honestly, I cannot watch them. This is so cringy. The thing is, even if those videos are not perfect and they're not good, I still did that. I still chose progress over perfection. And you might ask, do you think these videos that you're watching are perfect? And my answer is hell no. But still, I'm choosing progress over perfection. When you choose perfection, I guess it stems from a place that you want other people to think that you're ideal, or you want them to think that you're perfect, that you do everything ideal, that you do everything for, 10 out of 10. And that's usually not the case, okay? So if you choose progress over perfection, you actually think about growth, you choose growth. I've actually found something very interesting here, so I'm gonna read it out. So, healthy striving is self-focused. How can I improve? But perfectionism is other-focused. What will they think about me? You see, when you are about healthy striving. You think about yourself, your self-growth, your, let's say, incremental steps that you can take to improve your life. But when you think about perfectionism, you're actually thinking about what other people might think about you. So when you choose progress over perfection, you automatically, let's say, diminish the importance that you're putting into other people's opinions about you. The next step, or the third one, is actually pretty simple. You have to practice self-awareness. And this is easier than it sounds. Actually, what you gotta do is just to question your choices in your life, question where you're going. I remember when I was finishing high school, my parents came up to me and they told me, son, we want you to be a doctor. Well, because paradoxically, that's a well-paid job, and I mean, doctor is a very good, respected job. But I said no, like, I'm not gonna do that because that's not who I am. I have never been interested in biology, in cutting people in half or stuff like that, and I will not do that. And yes, they were offended, and it was not the best interaction in my life or the best conversation with my parents, but I chose what I wanted to do, and that was sure as hell was not becoming a doctor. So whatever you're doing in your life, I guess you just have to question yourself if you are doing this to satisfy yourself, okay, to reach your goals, or are you doing this to please other people? Are you doing this to make other people impressed by you? Are you buying a new car so that, I don't know, your friends will think well about you, or they will be impressed about you? Like, if you do that makes totally no sense. And you have to practice self-awareness and think about the things that you actually want, not the things that you think other people want for you. The next stage, or the next step, or the next tip, point, whatever, to stop caring what other people think about you is to become a leader and to embrace your insecurities. Growing up, I had insecurities, especially when it comes to weight, when it comes to social skills. When I grew up and I became, let's say, more adult, I realized that insecurities are just the things that we think are horrible, but in reality, they might be bad, but they're not as bad as you think they are. So when you become a leader and embrace your insecurities, you can do the things that other people will relate to. Okay, so I started producing videos where I'm half naked and I'm revealing my not perfect body, which I'm not satisfied with, and then I'm showing my results, which was, this is what I've achieved, the body that I like. But before that, I was doing all of these things where I'm like, my insecurities, and I used to suck at girls and stuff like that. And when I'm doing these things, probably you can relate to that. If you have insecurities, probably there are other people who have the same insecurities, and when you share those insecurities, other people will relate to you, and it makes you a leader. So when you think about this, like, which is more important? Do you really want to hide your insecurities and make other people think that you're perfect? Is it more important, or is making other people feel better about them and helping them and influencing their lives in a positive way more important? Which one's more important? For me, like, sure as hell is the latter one, the second one. So I've chose the second one, and I don't really care about what people might think about me. Like, in this channel, I talk about nofap, okay? That's basically like very intimate topic. I talk about my weight, I talk about some issues that I had with girls and social lives and all these things that I had in the past. And this is quite intimate, but I still do that. So when I do that, I guess a lot of people can relate to me, and it helps, maybe, like, hopefully it helps them to level up their lives, if that's the case. Or hopefully it helps them to maybe just stop feeling insecure and start feeling more confident. And the last thing is, it's actually kind of bonus. If you want to stop caring about what other people might think about you, what you can do is, this is actually like 100% thing that I've done, and I still kind of do it from time to time, but like years ago I used to do this quite often. This is to practice affirmations. So what I used to do is, I always used to say, I don't care what other people think about me. I don't care what other people think about me. Like, this kind of stuff that I used to repeat, and that has definitely influenced how I see myself, how I see this society, and all of this, like, let's say, perceptions that we have about society. So I don't know, like, the simplest, I can even read it out loud. I have made some couple of affirmations, so you can do it. I don't care what other people think of me. I'm the most confident person. So this is another positive affirmation. I'm strong. If you're strong, you're confident, you are badass, and you don't care about what other people think about you. I'm good enough, right? I don't have to be perfect and ideal. So this is another affirmation. My own opinion of me is way more important than, the simple affirmations that can actually change your perspective on life. Because when it comes to affirmations, it's more about your subconscious mind, and you can always change your subconscious mind by repeatedly saying all of these words to yourself and just doing affirmations. So anyways, that was it from me for today. If you are having problems with dealing with opinions of other people, I'm pretty sure that these points in this video can help you with that. If you like this video so far, make sure to hit the thumbs up and maybe even consider subscribing if you like this type of content. I will see you in the next one. You guys are signing out. See you.